Yeah, so thanks for that question, Elliot, and thanks to the students who have obviously put questions in. It's a really good opportunity for us to actually get a sight on what students are thinking. So to get students involved in elections, we have to actually explain the importance of students getting involved in the democratic process of elections, especially this year where we're expecting a general election. We have to inform and mobilise students to have their voices heard, even though it is the Westminster elections. Getting students involved and out there voting now means when it comes to the Scottish elections in the next 2 years, where education will definitely be on the ballot, we have informed students about the importance of democracy and they'll engage with the national election. And if it's successful, it's the first step in getting students engaged in student elections, as they'll have an opportunity to be involved in change through voting and running in elections. Thank you, Elliot. And I think that there are three ways that we can start to approach this. So communicating with school kids at the earliest convenience. So that means UHI and the Students' Association getting into local schools and talking about the experience that UHI and the Students' Association can offer, meaning that we're getting them engaged from the earliest point. Then when they get to college or the university, as a Students' Association, we should be setting up networks through our community engagement team, through a new network, or through our advice service by setting up FAQs on our website for school leavers to access. And finally, supporting local teams and providing summer programs for school leavers to attend, where they could do taster sessions, tours of campuses, and sessions with our advice service so they know what they're getting into when they come to the campus. There's so much more that we can do, but these three are a good starting point in making the transition easier. So I think three things again. So transparency, making sure that the work we do behind the scenes is accessible for students to access, because we are a member organisation and our members, being UHI students, need to know that we can that they can trust us. Student led, we need to continue to get students back at the heart of our work as a Students' Association through workshops on what events we should run and workshops on the priorities that students think that we should be focusing on. And finally, and my biggest thing, is accountability. Regular accountability sessions for both local and cross-campus officers, as we are elected by the students, so we need to be held to the highest account by the people who put us in office. I'd extend this even to local teams who have officer vacancies, so even though there may not be an officer on the ground, students still know that the Student Association is here for them. Okay, I'm going to give a bit of a blanket statement here in terms of the Students' Association, and it's a one-liner. We need to diversify our funding income with the Students' Association. That's all I'm going to say in terms of the Student Association side of things. In terms of cuts, should not be happening. But one of the things that we could be doing is having that relationship with students across the partnership, being in front of them and collaborating with them to ensure that the work we do on their behalf has their input. I do think that this is a tough question that you've asked and that the students have asked, but we shouldn't be preparing for further cuts. We should be fighting against the current cuts and proposed cuts, lobbying people who are in power to make the change and working with the university to ensure that students are being in the loop with any single change that is being made. Students are always going to be a marginalised part of society in Scotland, and the government and people in senior positions are going to keep taking parts of our education away unless we stand up for our education. Well, where to start? No, I think not knowing when to ask for help is one of my biggest weaknesses. And this role is a demanding one. And sometimes you get so involved that I forget that there are people around who want to support me, who are there to support me, staff, students, all kinds. So if I am lucky to be elected, I will work so hard to ensure that I'm getting the support, because if I have the right support, then the students that have elected me will get the right support from me. We're all human, no one's perfect, but my ethos is that we will only get better if we acknowledge our weaknesses and we work on them.